It's the Maritime Safety and Security Team. They were established pretty much after 9/11 once we went underneath the Department of Homeland Security. This one has been around since 2004. And basically what we do is we help augment other units within our area and actually, worldwide, nationwide, now that the Deployable Operation Groups has stood up. We're also training and doing operations for catastrophes or high threat areas for ports and waterways and different things that have to do with the marine environment.
We're pretty much due south of Honolulu. The whole ISC Honolulu is adjacent to Honolulu. We have a shuttle that runs from downtown Honolulu right into ISC.
Our area of operation traditionally prior to the D.O.G standing up last summer was pretty much out here in the 14th district, here on Oahu, the outer islands, Kauai and Maui and the Big Island. But since the stand-up of the D.O.G, we're deploying outside of this area in Hawaii. We have some future deployments out to the mainland area and other coasts in the United States. The main thing is if there was a big need for harbor security, all the MSSTs can deploy pretty much in the United States or anywhere in the world where the U.S. has interest.
My role is I'm in charge of all the boat operators, making sure they get done what needs to be done. There's two of us. One is administrative and one is operational. I'm the operational guy. We have 6 25-footers. We actually have more than that. Some of them are detached to the training division. So as the new people come in, they'll train them up. They have the qualified people to do that, and it works out very well that way.
I'm the Assistant Operations Officer, which I backfill for the Operations Officer, planning and executing operations and working hand in hand with the Planning Department, logistics. And my other primary duty is the Training Officer for the unit, scheduling our weekly training plan, our long-term formal training plan, putting people in for schools, whether they're civilian contracted training schools or Department of Defense schools or Coast Guard schools. Depending on what need we have, they can either go into waterside, which will become part of a boat crew, which goes out on our 6 safe boats, or they could go into maritime law enforcement force protection section, where they would go to a tactical procedures school at the Special Mission Training Center in North Carolina, as well as a vertical insertion school. And then once they become fully qualified, then they'll be a full qualified maritime law and force protection team member. Based on the sea state, if the safe boats can't go outside the harbor, we can also deploy vertical insertion. If we have the Jayhawk helos, what we call vertical delivery training with the 65 helos, the Dolphins, to deploy onto a vessel and get back off the vessel with the actual cable hoist. Boardings that we would do if it was too rough to go offshore, but we still need to board the vessel prior to entering port. Most of your vertical insertion are pretty much for high-risk boardings or nighttime unannounced boardings, those type of things.
We can dive on assets to make sure that there's no bombs or anything like that. We actually help local units also with diving operations on their own hulls.
Okay, this is our ROV, which is a remote operated vehicle we use for underwater inspections for hulls or pier inspections, pier sweeps. Well, you have the control panel here, which operates the ROV, and the tether, which has a max length of 500 feet. Normally deploys 20 to 30 feet as average starting depth. And from there we can, again, primarily used for hull inspection, but in our operations we recently used it for a pier sweep, where a vessel might be mooring up to make sure everything's safe under there. So the manufacturer came out and gave us a week-long training. So I'd say to be qualified, it takes at least over 50 hours of practical applications. It's a lot like a video game, just practice with the joysticks. It swivels 360 degrees, and then you have up and down control. You can record. It does come with a standard tape recorder, so you can tape, and you can also take still pictures with a memory card. You definitely do evidence collection with this piece of equipment.
It's nice being able to go to different places around the world. You haven't always been to all those places. You get to go there to work, and obviously you're going to get some time off to see those places as well. I love it. It's great climate. The people here are great. Food is spectacular, and out in the Pacific, it's great.